No. The president did not announce a lockdown.
So explain to us the measures in general.
It has become necessary that those 4 counties are isolated from mingling with the rest of the counties. The meaning is this, that if you live and work within the definition of the Nairobi Metropolitan, which I'll give you shortly, you will not be allowed to move out of that space. And if you live outside Nairobi Metropolitan within the isolation period, you will not be allowed to come into Nairobi.
Okay. Could you talk to us about the Nairobi Metropolitan area and the designation and the meaning of that?
Yes. From 7 p.m. this evening, there will be a police roadblock at the river, a place called Small World. Anybody outside of the Nairobi side at Small World will not be allowed to come into Nairobi, and will not be allowed, the person in Nairobi will not be allowed to leave through Small World outside Nairobi. There is another roadblock that will be set up at a place called Katani, that is near Mlolongo. There is another one that will be set up at Kamulu. We'll set up another roadblock at Blue Post, at a place called Chania Bridge. We'll set another one on Garissa Road for people who will be coming from northeastern and eastern using that route at a place called BAT Junction. We'll set another roadblock at a place called Uplands for people coming from Rift Valley and the Upper Kiambu. We'll have another roadblock at the junction of Rironi Maimahiu. We'll have another roadblock just up beyond Ngong, because Ngong town is what is defined within the Nairobi Metropolitan. We'll have another one at Kiserian. We'll have another roadblock at Isinya. And finally, we'll have another roadblock at Kitengela. That defines and isolates Nairobi. And it's recognizing that there is a heavy interaction between some of these outskirt towns and Nairobi, that decision has been arrived at. And at each of these roadblocks, we shall have a multi-agency team composed of the police, who are obviously the enforcers of this isolation, the Ministry of Health officials, to ensure that even the allowed people who will be able to pass healthy, they will be doing the simple checks of temperature and the wellness of the people allowed to cross. We'll have our national administrators at every roadblock, and we'll also have people from the National Intelligence Service. It will be a multi-agency team. Okay. And the closure of movement is total closure of all vehicles. So no personal vehicle will be allowed to pass there. There won't be a bicycle allowed to pass there. There won't be a motorcycle allowed to pass there. And only those vehicles, trucks that will be ferrying goods, foodstuff, will be allowed to pass there on condition that it has only one driver and up to a maximum of 3 assistants who will have a letter from the owner of the vehicle that these are my authorized people to go. Probably some of them are turn boys and all that, and we shall hold the owner of the vehicle. Should that information be incorrect, we shall use the Public Health Act to punish the owner of that vehicle.
What about the other 3 counties along the coastal strip? What are the measures to enforce this restriction in Kilifi, in Kwale, in Mombasa? Let me give you an example. Someone asked if they live in Mtwapa and work in Mombasa. Those are already 2 different counties. What happens to them?
Mtwapa is in Kilifi, and the factory that you would be working for in Mombasa. Those are 2 different counties, and movement inter-county for the 3 coastal counties will be stopped. Today, at 7, we will do just a restricted movement out of the main arteries of the 3 counties. But from Wednesday at 7 p.m., we will do total isolation in the same manner we are doing for Nairobi. And that means that, for example, so that we are clear, apart from cargo and ferrying across, for example, Likoni Bridge, Likoni the ferry. Mm-hmm. It won't move people from the Kwale side to the Mombasa side. Yeah. That's the meaning. Yeah. From Wednesday at 7. But from today at 7, we'll have restricted movement on the main arteries of the 3 counties for today and tomorrow. But on Wednesday, it will be total isolation for the next 21 days.
Where are the roadblocks in the areas around the coastal strip? For example, Mombasa, Kwale, Kilifi.
I have a full list. I could read it for you if you want. In Mombasa, we will have, for now, the counties have very many panya routes. Yes. For between now and Wednesday, we will have a roadblock at Makupa Causeway for Mombasa. Mm-hmm. And Nyali Bridge, a place called Lights. Mm-hmm. We'll have Likoni Ferry at the ramp. We'll have Lunga Road, Ferry Lunga Road at a place called Shikadabu. We'll have another one along Mombasa Malindi Road at Shanzu. And we'll have another one at Mtopanga. That is between now and Wednesday, as we work on the operation order for a total isolation of Mombasa. For Kilifi County, we'll have a roadblock on the Garisen Maridi Road at a place called Sabaki Bridge. We'll have another one on Kilifi Mombasa Road at Mutwapa Bridge. We'll have Mariakani Bamba Road at Mariakani. We'll have Mazeras Kaloreni Kilifi Road at Mavueni. And we'll have Majia Chumvi Kilifi Road at Majia Chumvi. Mm-hmm. Then for Kwale, we'll have at Kombani. This is on Kombani Kwale Road. Then on Samburu Kinango Road, we'll have it at a place called Samburu. And finally, Lunga border point to Mombasa Road, we'll have it at Lunga. So these are the roadblocks for tonight and for tomorrow. But we'll produce a total operation order for total isolation for those 3 counties, which will be effective at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Okay. Yeah.
Someone who may have traveled outside the city today, maybe gone to outside Nairobi, maybe gone to visit or gone to hospital or whatever reason, and they're not back in Nairobi by 7 p.m. Monday, what happens to them? And they're returning to their county of residence and county of work.
Those people who will be in Nyeri at 7 are advised to stay in Nyeri. And the ones in Nairobi to stay in Nairobi. Even there won't be a time in this country when there won't be someone who is somewhere for some reason. And if we start giving exception, remember the government is not doing this to punish people. It's doing this to save lives.